I held off on reading Ultimate Spider-Man number 16. I saw Rob from Comics Explain said something about it. I can't remember exactly when it was, but when I saw him say something, I said to myself, okay, I can't watch this video. Spoilers don't really bother me, but Ultimate Spider-Man is a book that I like savoring. I like getting into the book, sitting with the book, thinking about what's happening. And I'm here to tell you, I read an article. I'll post a link to this article in the description of this video. I read an article from Bounding into Comics, which I may or may not go to, but it was Scott Snyder who's writing Absolute Batman, and he was talking about, pretty much, to sum up, it's the return and focus on storytelling and really giving the fans something to really grasp with the story. It's a big deal. This is a big deal. I'm not going to say that everything is being corrected and fixed within, the comic book sphere when it comes to storytelling, but I do think there is cause for excitement. I think that the good storytellers of today are realizing, look, if we want to sell books, we got to give the fans something they want. And Snyder kind of covered that in the article. I might read a little bit of the article, but man, Ultimate Spider-Man number 16. These surprises, the things, there's going to be spoilers. I'm just letting you know right now. I'm not going to read through the full book, but I might go through and show some panels. The surprises in this book. When I tell you Jonathan Hickman is cooking, homeboy is in the kitchen cooking. He has separated himself from other comic book writers. And every now and again, I think every generation has their people that just go well above and beyond what anyone else is doing. Jonathan Hickman in this generation, I believe, has set himself apart as far as comic book writers. This dude, man, like, I want to know what's going on in his mind. I hope some of the things that he has placed in the Ultimate Spider-Man Marvel 6160 universe, I hope some of this stuff after these things wrap up, I hope they make their way. Hold on. I hope some of these things make their way into, man, something got in my throat right as I started talking. I hope they make their way into Marvel 616 universe, the main Marvel universe, because some of this stuff, I don't mind changes. I don't want my characters, drastically altered from who we know the characters to be. But there are some things that I am telling you, I am comfortable and fine with changing. And if some of these changes in this book make it to the main Marvel universe, kudos, Marvel. In my opinion, it's the way to go. Once you start coughing, you just can't stop. Anyway, I'm going to go to this Ultimate Spider-Man. Chiquetto, I would like to see Chiquetto draw X-Men just to see how I like his style of art on X-Men. I'm not saying it's a guarantee that he'll draw the X-Men and it'll be, out of here. But I want to see, because there's something about his art. The line work is unique, and I really like, it's visually pleasing. I'm not sure if it'll work for X-Men. For Spider-Man, it's working perfectly, but I would like to see him at least draw one X-Men book, or bring some of the X-Men into Ultimate Spider-Man so I can see just how he does, because, man, I'm telling you, I like his art. Ultimate Spider-Man number 16. I did several videos on Mysterio. I did one just about him in general, and then I did an origin of Mysterio video. You'll go watch those two videos while you're watching this one. Because the things that is almost like Hickman read my mind. The things that he's doing with Mysterio, This may be, Mysterio may be what unravels all of the Maker's plans. Because the things you learn about Mysterio in this book and how it's connected to Gwen Stacy, wow. Did not see this coming. I promise you I did not see this coming. So the book opens with Gwen Stacy at Harry's grave, right? So this is very somber. You're like, man, they killed my boy Harry. Like, why they had to do Harry dirty like that? Um, I I was not expecting what they did to Harry. I was not expecting him to be killed. I'll be honest with you. I kind of thought that Harry and Peter were going to ride it out to the end. Now, I'm saying that because what I'm leading to in this, we'll get to it. But so anyway, starts out there, then it goes, let me go back. It goes into a flashback of her talking to her father, and her mother obviously has passed away. He's explaining to her, how things in the world are bad, some things are unfair, things happen, and she has the opportunity to remember her mother as she was, right? Her mother, she was young, so she remembers her mother as being perfect, no flaws. And he goes on to explain to her that, she may be in a better position and a better predicament than most people because she didn't have to see her mom, as she grew up and understand that, yeah, my mom has flaws. She's not perfect. She remembers her perfect. So it goes into that. And then it goes into the backstory of her meeting Harry, them dating, and before they got married. Harry's pretty suave. I really like there's so much about Ultimate Spider-Man that I love that I don't want this series to end. I'm not gonna lie. I know it has to at some point. I don't like so many concurrent titles running on one hero. Just give me one concise run where I can follow this run and not have to follow a million other things. So this is going to end at some point. That's pretty much what I'm getting to. But so they go into the dialogue of them meeting. It moves to their wedding. Well, there's an interaction here that I was not expecting. So she took a call in the middle of this conversation, says, sorry, hello? Oh, okay, thanks. And it says, what is it? They found him. So her dad was missing. I don't understand all of the details just yet. I only read through this once, but they found him. So right out the gate, I'm intrigued. I'm like, okay, what's going on with her dad? Why it seems like there was a hyper focus on her dad. And I was like, this is odd. Like, where'd that come from? Man. So of course you see his eyes glowing green. When I saw this, my first thought was Mysterio, but I was like, that kind of doesn't, I don't, is it? This was so unexpected. So what you find out, I'm just going to get to it, is Mysterio is like some kind of clan of people. But here's the thing. They believe that there's something wrong with the world. They believe everything is an illusion. And the world they're in is not the world as it's supposed to be. Like somehow they know something has changed and they know the maker. Well, they don't know at this point that it was the maker, but at some point in the course of this, they find out. But you find out that Gwen is like heir to the, I guess you would say, Mysterio throne. Hickman is cooking. Homie is cooking. I did not see this coming. I did not. You don't get the impression reading through Ultimate Spider-Man that Gwen Stacy is aloof, right? Like she knows what's going on. You get the sense that she's perceptive, but she is so much more perceptive than you realize. And for reasons that you did not know, she is Mysterio. This is crazy. Now, you find out that I guess the Mysterio mantle is passed from one person to the next. The way all of this works out. So Harry's dad during the wedding says something to Gwen that I found like all the way Hickman is working all these things. He said, don't let him distract you from what you were put on this earth to do. Yo, he knows something. He knows something. He like this isn't this doesn't seem like just some, I'm gonna tell my new daughter-in-law this thing that's gonna help her out. Nah. He knows something. And could this be why he was killed by the Maker? Man, oh man. So she says, I can make that promise. Maybe she knows he knows something. And then, so at first, I went back and I was looking. I was like, wait, is this his dad? Nah, that's not his dad. The hair is different. I'm trying to make all kind of connections. Hickman did, and this is the mark of a good writer. Hickman has my brain going in like 15 different directions, trying to figure out, okay, what's going on here? What is going on? And it takes me back to what he said in that article I read last week about his disappointment for not finishing his X-Men run, like not wrapping that story up. So that gives me confidence that whatever Hickman gives us in this, it's going to be good. So you notice in all of these things and all of these scenes, you kind of see Mysterio in the background. The reason I like the way they're working Mysterio in the Ultimate universe, Earth 6160, is it seems like Mysterio is even more capable than he is in the regular Marvel universe. Like, this Mysterio is about it and has more than parlor tricks. Like, what Mysterio has in this universe is for real. This is why I say I hope they merge that into the regular Marvel universe, because Mysterio, I didn't realize how underused he is as a villain in Marvel. He is underused, like severely underused. So much stuff going on, so much stuff going on that I had to take some notes. I'm telling you, this how excited I got about this book right here. I got to find where my notes is, because on their first Christmas, Harry buys her this book, but this book means more than you know. Like, I was like, the threads that Hickman is pulling on, man, I can't even find my notes, because I wrote something down about I knew, and I wasn't familiar with this character, so I'm not trying to make it seem like I knew this already, but I knew when he showed her this book, I was like, something about this character. This is not just a one-off, because there's a lot of Marvel characters that I never really paid attention to. A lot of Marvel plots that I never read, some books that I just wasn't interested in. Anyway, I'll go to my phone to where I looked it up, because this is yo, as you can tell, I'm kind of spastic, because I was super excited about everything that is going on in this book right now. And there is a lot going on. Hold on, I'm trying to find where I looked this up. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Now we're here. So Harry gets her this book for their first Christmas. Like, they're comparing, like, how well do you know me? This is our first Christmas. We're going to see who wins. It's friendly competition. Harry gets her this book. You see the look on her face. She says, "Oh my God, is this an actual copy?" And it's, he said, "The World That Is and the World That Was" by Dr. Jericho Drum. Now, that might not mean anything to you, but I knew. I was like, nah, because Hickman is cooking too good. So this has to mean something else. So Jericho Drum, if you didn't know, in Marvel Comics, is actually a hero called Mr. Voodoo. I didn't know anything about this, because there's a lot of Marvel characters that like I said, I don't know about, never got into. Anyway, Brother Voodoo, later known as Dr. Voodoo, and that's Jericho Drum. Hero, he's from Haiti. Of course, there's probably, voodoo and all of that stuff involved, as you can tell from the name. But I'm like, yo, I don't know what plot thread that uh Hickman is pulling on right here, but I like it. And so I like this dialogue right here. He says, let me tell you, uh, super hard to find a copy of that. And we could have put a kid through college for what I paid. Still, I know how you love this conspiracy stuff. So she says, conspiracy? Do you know what this book is about? It suggests that the world has two timelines, the one we are currently living in and the one that was supposed to be living in. It's about tachyon particles and temporal echoes, not flat earths and chemtrails. It's the real reason you can't find this book anywhere. I'm like, yo, give this man Hickman an award. He you know how you can feel something special is being cooked up? Yeah, homie getting ready to cook up something super special. So it goes on, they're talking, and Gwen finds out that what they thought all this time, she found out, no, this actually is what is. So I'm going to read this dialogue just because this is too good to pass up. It says, 1 year ago, tell them, we were right all along, Quentin. Everything we've worked toward, everything we believe in is real. The world is an illusion fabricated by one man telling a lie big enough to deceive all of humanity. And now he is trapped in a prison of his own making for the next 2 years. How do you know this is true? Our recent elevation under Fisk only happened because my husband's parents were killed in the Stain Stark explosion. As a result, and as you already know, our company Oscorp absorbed Stain Stark. Then, when we went rifling through all their corporate archives, we also learned all of this, the real history of the world. Yo, this is, when I tell you, so you would think, right? That's big deal, mind blown, right? Did not see that coming. No, Hickman is not letting you off the hook that easy. So you remember how Harry got killed? Well, lo and behold, so this interaction is kind of important to that. Let me see. Let me go. Oh, what are you doing here now? I don't have time for this. I found him, your husband. What? Where? Craven took him along with his sidekick. He caught their scent earlier and laid in wait until he could act. He kept it all very quiet, but now he's made the mistake of including a confidant of ours into his schemes, all because Craven wants to hunt them in the Savage Land. He doesn't know about our alliance with the Mole Man, and he doesn't know that the Mole Man has told me. But Craven does mean to kill them. The amulet passes from you to me in 2 days. Do I have that long? Or can you? I'll talk to our friend and buy some time. So you find out what's going on behind the scenes. And now everything that we've seen from Mysterio makes so much more sense. Like it is getting so real. So then fast forward, she fires Otto. Something tells me Otto was a mold from the get-go. Yo, whatever the maker's smart. So I have no idea what all's going on with the maker and how Hickman is going to work this in. But when I tell you I'm excited to see how this is going to play out, boy, am I excited. Okay, so she fires him. She lets him go, right? And so you get to the point where Harry is killed, but Harry is not really killed. He's in the back watching. Now, Peter has no idea what's going on. I'm looking at all of this and I'm like, yo, man, Hickman is cooking. This is so good. This is so good. So Peter sees him killed. Well, obviously, he's not really killed, but what happens next? I was not expecting. So she tells Harry to watch. He's looking, what's going on? And there's, of course, there's not one Mysterio. So that's how a lot of these things can be pulled off. Super interesting. I like what Hickman is doing. And so now he's talking. You dare come between me and my hunt? Mysterio says, I do. So, of course, Craven is not happy about this, but only because you came between me and mine. Mysterio has the gun. So long, comrade. Kills Craven or shoots Craven. You know how comic books work. Is Craven really dead? And he's like, Mysterio? Harry's like, Mysterio? He doesn't understand. And he finds out it's Gwen. When I tell you at this point, and I kind of figured this was happening, but as I'm reading all of this, I'm like, yo, whatever Hickman is working, I'm here for it. This is the kind of excitement I need. So, of course, Harry's mad about, her keeping secrets. You find out when she was at the grave, she was actually with Harry. So he's like, oh, I'm dead now. He says, so I'm dead. And the Green Goblin is not, which must mean I'm not the Green Goblin. Yes. So Gwen, and she says, yes, Harry. Why didn't you tell me? I was raised in this, and it's been a part of my life longer than you have. I thought I could keep it separate. I thought I could have both. And you know how comic books work. You can't have both. You're going to have one or the other, or one thing is going to destroy the other, which I think, and I hope Hickman is taking a different approach where people can have their heroism, and their family with some complications, right? Okay. Not if you keep lying. No way. And not if you're going to keep being so sensitive, Gwen. That's not going to work. I'm Mysterio, Harry. And secretive is just another word for mysterious. That's who I am. Well, Sai, we'll figure it out. I know we will. Okay, so what's next? Now we take the fight to them. Now we win. Now it says next issue, Harry's War. I'm telling you, I'm here for all of that. Now there's no doubt in my mind, this is not going to be that easy. They're not just going to be able to thwart the Maker's plan and incorporate whatever they have going on or attack however it's not going to be that easy, not going to be that quick. The Maker has some nefarious, evil plan that's going to throw a huge monkey wrench, and I don't know what it's going to be, but I know this right here was not what I was expecting. This is, this is in the past, I would say, let's go 3 or 4 years. Ultimate Spider-Man is so far my favorite story. I'm going to go ahead and say it. There will be people who disagree. They'll say it's trash for whatever reason. I get it. Argue in the comments. But man, I'm telling you, Hickman is cooking, and I'm here to eat up whatever he puts on this plate.